Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm gonna be playing a game called Icarus, and they recently released a $30 DLC for the game called Icarus New Frontiers. So today I'm gonna be playing the game as well as the DLC, and I'm gonna be doing a first impression review of the game. So I'm gonna be playing the game for an hour or so, maybe a little bit more, until I am confident that I can give you my opinion on the game and whether or not, in my opinion, the game is worth $30 and also the DLC is worth $30. So in total, the game that we will be looking at today costs $65, since I think the DLC is $30 and then the base game is $35. So for the entire thing it's $65, which is bloody expensive, but maybe this is the best open world crafting game ever made. Maybe, because I don't know of any open world crafting survival game ever made, to be honest, that I would pay $65 for. So maybe this game will be worth the money. I don't know, we will see. So if you are in a hurry, you can simply skip to the last 10 minutes or so of the video if you're watching the video on YouTube. And in the last 10 minutes or so I will give you my quick, concise, final opinion on the game. But otherwise you can just stay tuned. I am live streaming on Twitch and on YouTube, so just stay tuned and I will be playing the game and giving you my running commentary as we play through the game. Now the game has been out since 2021, so the game is actually like 2 years old. It doesn't look like the game was in early access, so the game has been released for 2 years already. The game is already released. I don't think they went through an early access period. They might have gone through an early access period, I am not too certain. But anyway, the game has been fully released for about 2 years, and now they released their first paid content DLC. Now that's not to say that they don't have other DLCs, because they do have other DLCs. They're actually going a little bit crazy with the amount of DLCs that this game has, to be honest, because they already have 8 DLCs for the game, and the game is, like I say, not even 2 years, about 2 years old. So they're going a little bit crazy with the DLCs, to be honest. But this is the first content DLC that the game has, that they've released. They do also have like outpost DLCs. They call it outpost DLCs, where you can basically, the game, obviously I haven't played the game yet much, to be honest, but from what I can gather, like, you go play game and then you create a character and then you select your character, and then they have various modes. Like, the modes, to be completely honest with you, are stupid. I don't like this type of mode thing. Like, they separate the modes. They're basically separating their content that the game has, and that's obviously not good, because the game would be pretty big, to be honest, if they kept everything together. If they just made one mode with all of the content in that one mode, then the game would actually be pretty big, like really quite big. But They didn't do that, they separated all of the content. So if you go here, new game, then from what I understand is there is the open world mode, which they recently implemented, like literally in the past week or so. They implemented this open world mode, so we will talk about that in just a second. But they have these outposts, and the outposts are small maps, really quite small, not very big. Like in the game's logic, it would be less than a kilometer, a square kilometer basically. So it's not a very big map, but as you can see, I have all of the maps. So you I don't know if I can actually click on them without going into them. Okay, yeah, you can click on them without going into them. So these maps have a lot less experience, 75% less experience gain on these maps, and then basically also a massively reduced amount of enemies that you can encounter. There are some enemies like rabbits. You will encounter rabbits and stuff like that, but like it's a peaceful mode. It's supposed to be a peaceful mode, but like I say, the map is very, very small. Like you can basically just build a base there. There's different ones. Each one of these costs €4, which is really expensive. So it's literally just a small area where you can build a base, and it's a peaceful mode, and it costs €4 for each of these. So in total, all of these are like €20, which is already expensive. So that's the outpost mode. You can see there, build risk-free in a small persistent map. Expect calm weather, fewer enemies, and regenerating resources, but you receive 75% less experience. So that's like a building mode, and it's a really, really small map. Not even close to being as big as the open world map is. Then you get a missions mode, where you can do various missions. This map has 62 missions, this map has 27 missions, this map has 14 missions. Now, this is where my first criticism comes in. Why didn't they just create one big map? Like, you take all of these maps together. I can actually show you how big these maps are. Oh no, wait, I can't do it there. Oh, another thing is, the missions are timed, which is really idiotic. Like, I do not like timed stuff in games. So all of these missions are timed. Like, some of them have 2 hours. And I don't even think this is real life time. This is like literally in-game time. So when it says 7 days, it's obviously not 7 days in real life. It's 7 days in the game. So when you have 2 hours, like, it's a really, really, really small amount of time. Like, probably this mission will last maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes in real life. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of missions. Why didn't they take all of these missions, put them together on one map, and then combine all of the maps? Like, I don't understand why they separated the content. Like, it's really stupid. By the way, this Prometheus map is the latest map that they added. It's basically the map that you pay $30 for. So this Prometheus map is the Icarus New Frontiers content. So when you buy the DLC for $30, on top of the $35 that the game already costs, then you get access to this Prometheus map. So this Prometheus map costs $30. But I want to show you this Olympus map. So this Olympus map is the one that they say you should start on. We will just call this whatever. I just want to show you guys the map. This is the map. This is the Prometheus map, and it's a pretty big map. So you choose various starting points where you can start bottom left, bottom right, middle, top left, top right. So there's various different biomes. There's 2 desert biomes, and then there's 2 ice biomes, and then there's 2 basically forest or grasslands biomes. So that's the entire map. So that's the Prometheus map. And then there's the Styx map as well. So this is the Styx map. It's essentially the same as the first map. There's just more ice. So you can see there's a lot more ice. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ice areas. And then there's like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 grassland areas, and then 2 desert areas. So this map has a lot more ice on it. And the desert areas are also a little bit bigger, but yeah, you can still choose where you want to land. So this one is, it looks like the biggest one. The previous one doesn't look as big as this one is, even though I'm not sure what the scale of the map is. But anyway, that's the second map. And then this map over here is now the new map that you pay $30 for. And this is how this one looks. Now this one looks small. Like, quite honestly, it looks small, but I do believe you can actually explore outside these areas, I think, because I read something on the forum, on the Steam page forum for this game, that you can actually go beyond this black area. But I'm not 100% certain, because otherwise this looks like the smallest map, to be honest. Like, the previous map was like this entire area, like the entire screen basically was full. So this map looks like it's about half the size of the previous map, you know, if it is to scale. Like, I would assume that it is to scale, but I'm not really 100% certain, you know. So I don't know. Like, I don't like this thing, you know, like having 3 different maps, this map and the previous map and the previous map. Why don't they put all of them together? Like, you would have a really big area then. Like, surely the point of the game is to give you the biggest playable area possible, you know. Like, if you think about a game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all of those games, they don't separate the areas. Like, with the DLCs they do. Like with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, there's the one DLC where you go off to a completely new area, even though it's not as big as the main area. They don't separate the areas, you know. Like, I don't understand why the developers separated the areas in this game. And then on top of separating the areas, they also made certain content not available in this map and this map. So in this map, the Olympus map, you can't get operations, and in this map also you can't get operations. But in this map that you pay $30 for, you can get operations. So in both of these you get missions. This SMPL3 missions, it's basically just like these missions over here, you know, like 62 missions, 27 missions, 14 missions. It's just like missions that you get that you can do. And I do believe the missions have, like, sometimes they have voiced dialogue and stuff like that, you know, and they give you rewards and stuff like that. But anyway, so these missions you can get on all 3 of these maps, but you can't get these operations on this map or on this map. You can only get operations on this map. And I do believe they say here somewhere something about operations. I can't remember. Doesn't look like they say anything about operations, but basically operations, I'm not 100% sure what it is, because obviously I haven't played the game much yet, but it's like basically additional content, almost like the missions that you can do over here. It's almost like that, but you can literally only get the operations on this map. You can't get it on this map, So that literally makes the DLC, the $30 DLC, pay to win, to be honest, because you're getting content. You're not only getting a new map, you also get content that is locked behind this map. So there's new content in the game, the operations, but you can only do those operations on the DLC when you own the DLC. So that's not good, you know, like fucking paying $35 for the base game to get these two maps. Actually, only this map. You don't even get this map. This map costs like $8 or something like that, by the way. So you only get this map with a base game for $35. Then this Styx map is an additional, I think, $8 or something like this. And then the Prometheus map is another €30 or $30, which is insane. Like the entire game costs like $73 then, and that's not even including the outposts over here, which each cost €4. I think it's €4 or $5. So quite honestly, the DLC practices that this developer is doing is not good. I'm not a fan of this DLC practice. And then on top of that, like I said, the fact that they're separating this map and this map and this map, like, why don't they put them together? Like, I don't understand why they don't put the open world areas together. Then you have a really big area to explore. Like, it's just stupid, to be honest. I don't understand why they do that. But anyway, we are going to be playing on the Prometheus map. You're supposed to start on the Olympus map. Like, they literally tell you, they warn you, when you start over here. Not recommended for new players. But the thing about the game is that you can't switch between the maps. Like, they don't allow you to switch between the maps and keep your resources. So all of your buildings, because the game has building, all of the buildings that you built on Olympus stay there. When you leave the map, you keep your character. So whatever levels you gained, you keep on your character. But you don't get to keep any resources. Not a single resource can be taken from one map to another map. And your buildings also stay on the map. So what's the point of playing on this map or this map and investing a lot of time building a nice big base, all of that kind of stuff, if you can only do this content, this operation content, on this map? Like, what's the point of investing any time in these two maps if there's exclusive content on this map? Then, I mean, logically, you're just gonna start on this map, you know, because then you can spend all of your time on this map, you can do the operations, you can build a massive base. There's no reason to go back to this map or this map, because this map has everything. This map has the operations and everything. So I just don't like the fact that you are never going to be able to experience this map or this map, because the game doesn't allow you to take resources from one place to another place. And that, like I said, just compacts the fact, the stupidity of the fact that they didn't combine these maps. Like, if they combined these maps, the game would be really big. Like, you would have a really nice big area to explore and play in. But they didn't do that, so yeah, you don't have that luxury, that quality of life, to be honest. So by the way, when you start on this map, or when you choose this map, they automatically level up your character to level 20. So even though I have a level 20 character, as you can see over there, and they give you a whole bunch of stuff like tech tree, they give you a bunch of points. The game uses a recipe system, so you spend your tech tree points to get recipes. So you need to spend your recipe points. I think you get 2 or 3 recipe points per level up. So because I'm level 20, I had like 50 or something like that recipe points. So you need to select the recipes that you want. I'm really not a fan of that system, to be honest. It's the same system that Conan Exiles used. I recently also featured Conan Exiles on my channel. I don't like this system, I have to be honest. I would rather just, I don't know, have a different system, because I don't like this system. I don't like having to spend time to read all of this stuff and then decide, okay, do I want to spend points on this or not? It just wastes time. And considering the fact that the game is rather brutal with regards to the time management, because it has survival mechanics, so you're constantly running out of water and food and stamina, and there are hazardous weather conditions and a whole bunch of shit like that. So if you're going to spend 20 minutes reading through all of the talents and reading through all of the recipes and looking which ones you want to spend points on, that's 20 minutes that you could be attacked by creatures, or you could get caught in a storm, or you constantly lose your stuff. What's the name of the stuff? The food and water and oxygen. The game also has an oxygen requirement, so you're constantly losing that stuff while you're forced to look at your menu, essentially. Because when you open your menu, when you look at your inventory, when you spend your talent points, the game does not pause. Like, the game is not paused when you look at that kind of stuff. So that's really stupid, in my opinion. Like, I understand that the game is a survival game, but since I'm playing solo, they should pause the game when you have your inventory open or anything like that. They should pause the game.
You'll need to craft a short-range radio. Plenty of folks need help, and factions pay well for prospectors that offer their time. Up to you. Stay safe.
So the screen is just black now for some reason. I'm literally just joining the world that I created earlier. I haven't made any progress in the world yet. I've literally just started the world, because the world generation takes a while, and I thought, okay, let me be smart. Let me start the world so that the world generation can happen without wasting your guys' time. But apparently that didn't work, because apparently you have to regenerate the entire world every time you enter the world. So that's not good. But anyway, you land on the planet using this thing. They just drop you down. It's not like you can control this thing. And then this is it. This is now the map. So the map does have fog of war. So as you can see, there's fog of war. The other maps don't have fog of war. So the Olympus map and the Styx map doesn't have fog of war. By the way, I should point out that the game does not have a tutorial. Like, literally, there is no tutorial in the game. They don't teach you about movement. They don't teach you about harvesting. They don't teach you about fuck all in the game. So absolutely no tutorial, which is obviously not good. Like, that's definitely not good. So it's your standard open world survival crafting game. You run around, you pick up sticks, you pick up rocks. When you have enough sticks and rocks, you can then craft a hammer or a pickaxe or a lumber axe or whatever, you know. Like I said, the game also has oxygen, so you pick up these rocks called oxide, and then you eat them or something like that to regain your oxygen. I'm just looking for a couple more rocks. This area where I landed, it seems like it doesn't have a lot of rocks. But yeah, like I said, the game is brutal. Well, the developers are idiots because they didn't add a tutorial to the game. They simply were not bothered to add a tutorial to the game, and that makes the game brutal. If you have never played these games, then the game is going to be really, really difficult for you because you're not going to know what to do. Like, I know what to do because I've played a lot of these games. I've played almost every game under the sun that is like this. So I immediately know what to do. I know how these games function, you know. Pick up sticks, pick up rocks, combine the sticks and the rocks, make tools, you know, that kind of stuff. But the quote-unquote average player will not know how to do these things. So stone pickaxe, we can craft one of those. Stone axe, we can craft one of those. Stone knife. A bow, I guess we need one of those. A whole bunch of arrows, we need those. We need rocks. Okay, those are animals, but they don't seem hostile yet. The game also has weather storms and stuff like that. So you can see there at the top right, there's a 3-day forecast. So there's not much you can do about it, you know. You're gonna get caught in a storm either way. It's not really like you can run away from the storm, but it just basically tells you that a storm is coming. So let's craft a bunch of arrows so that we can defend ourselves, and then we can craft a base. I want to make my base close to the water. That's always a good strategy, to create your base or any structures close to a water source, because water is always extremely important. I do like the voxel based destruction on resources, or at least on the mining. Like, you can literally see how you are chopping away at the stone. That's really nice. I like that. That's one thing that is nice, even though, as you can see there, there's a little bit of resources literally hanging in the air. You can literally see through the rock over here, you know, stuff like that. So it's not perfect by any means. I mean, look at that. You can literally see through the rock. So it's not fantastically done, but I mean, this isn't a Ubisoft game we're talking about here. You know, this is a relatively small developer, so you can't really be too picky with the quality of something like that. You know, you are going to, like this, the entire thing is floating in the air, you know. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, you're not gonna get the quality of a Ubisoft game from a indie developer like this, you know. It's simply they don't have the budget, you know. Is that a horse over there? Oh no, that looks like a deer or something like that. The game apparently does have mounts, because I read in the DLC thing that the game does have mounts. Okay, 130 stone, that should be plenty of stone. And we can also chop down some trees. Do we want to chop down trees over here or closer to the river? There's an eye. Okay, so he spotted me. Okay, so the enemies can spot you. The wildlife can spot you from a distance. You can also sneak like this. And as you can see, it shows like almost like Skyrim. It shows you a little line if you are not spotted, and if you are spotted, then it will show an eye instead of a line. Let's just eat something. Let's put the watermelon over there. Currently I only have watermelons to eat. But I also need oxygen. I need, let's see, this thing. Leather and then bone. Okay, I need leather and bone. I'm assuming I get those from animals. We need to kill a couple of animals, probably. There are some really big animals in the game. Like really big animals. I read in the on the forum, and actually also you can even see it in the screenshots of the game. Hey, I got it. You can also see in the screenshots of the game that there are some really big bosses in this game, like world bosses. So, like I'm talking about as big as a building. So I don't know how we are gonna kill those. The game does have multiplayer. I'm not gonna play the game with multiplayer, but the game does have multiplayer. So, I'm not sure. Okay, so there's a shower incoming. A shower shouldn't be an issue. I mean, if it's just rain, it shouldn't be an issue. So the game does have world bosses in addition to the regular animals that you're gonna encounter. But yeah, I don't know if you can beat them. I mean, you would assume that you can beat the world bosses in solo, you know, because I mean that would be really fucking stupid if you can't fight the world bosses while you are solo, you know. Like, once again, that comes to my point of why do you put content in a game that has single player? That you know, you can play the game single player, but then you can't do the content. You can't actually like fight the world bosses. You can't get the loot from the world bosses, because I'm assuming the game, the world bosses do have loot and all of that kind of stuff, you know. That would just be really stupid if you can't beat the world bosses as a solo player. So I'm assuming you can beat the world bosses as a solo player. Okay, so I think we have enough wood. What's that over there? I think we have enough wood. Okay, I'm getting storm exposure. Hey, okay, we killed the boar with one hit. It must have been a headshot. Okay, let's skin it. So you skin it and then, holy shit, what was that? Okay, that thing cast a very big shadow. It scared me for some reason. So what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, we need to make a shelter. I hope the storm, you see that storm exposure there at the top, I hope it doesn't cause any issues. I don't know what storm exposure will do to us. I'm just hoping it doesn't cause any significant issues. This oxide you can eat. You can literally eat. Holy shit. Okay, it looks like those guys aren't aggressive. I hope they're not aggressive. Oh, I'm going to the wrong direction. We should be heading... over there. It's not easy to tell which direction you're actually heading in the game. Is this iron? Silica. Let's collect a little bit of silica. My weight is getting a little bit high, but shouldn't be the end of the world. The game's graphics is really nice actually. Like, I'm actually impressed with the graphics of the game, I have to be honest. The game also runs well. Like, the game doesn't run badly. What's that? Deep mining or aluminium, okay. Exposure. I don't know what exposure is, but it can't be good. I don't know if you take full damage. Ouch, okay, you do take full damage. In some games, you will be on a planet that has low gravity or relatively low gravity. I guess this is not one of those games. Okay, I hope you guys are not aggressive. It doesn't look like the storm exposure is damaging me or anything like that. Okay, here's a river. Now, I don't want to... I actually want to build up there because... I don't want to build on low ground. You obviously always want to build on high ground, you know, as high as you can go. So I don't want to build here. I definitely don't want to build down there in the valley. I want to build up there if I can. And my storm exposure is going down because I'm standing here next to the wall. So that's good. Let's see. Can I craft this? Ah, yes, I can. Oxidizer. Can also craft a... Oh no, I need leather. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so the storm has passed. Let's build a couple of those. Couple of those. It's nice that you can move around and all of that while crafting. I don't like games that make crafting a chore, you know, like games that force you to stand still while crafting. I don't like that at all. Okay, so we can't go up there, so we will have to go... I mean, we will have to go back around like that. That's a pain in the nutsack. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to get back up there. I mean, I can maybe... the game should have climbing, like you get in the Zelda games. The game should have climbing, because it's really stupid when you can't get up a place. Let's see, if I do this... Oh, you can't even... Oh, okay, so the terrain isn't destructible. The game doesn't have destructible terrain. It's only the resources that are destructible. Some of these games do have destructible terrain. Ramp. Okay, so I can build a ramp, but I need wood. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna get wet now. Oh, and poison. What the hell, poison? Get out. Why is it so fucking difficult to get out there? What's that poison? What kind of poison? Venom. Why? Why am I poisoned? Did something bite me? Did the fish bite me? That's possible. Or the water is poisoned. I'm not sure. And my oxygen is getting low. But we just need a couple of trees and then we can build ramps. I'm actually taking damage from the poison, I think. And let's build a couple of ramps. What the hell was that? Oh, oxygen low, okay. Let's eat a couple of these. You can literally just eat them and then you gain oxygen back. You don't gain a lot of oxygen because you're supposed to use the oxidizer to get the maximum out of the stuff. By the way, trees can also hurt you. Trees can fall on you and hurt you, so that's something that is pretty interesting. Yeah, there should be enough trees. Okay, so let's take the ramps. There's the ramps. Oh, does the game actually have weight? It looks like it. The game has a weight system as well. Actually similar to what Conan Exiles has as well. That's interesting. Okay, so I can build here and then I can build there. Okay, that's fine, I hope. Because this one was green, but now it's blue. No, now it's red. It was green, and then when I attached this one to that one, it went down, basically. Okay, well, I hope I can do something like this. That should make it stronger. Okay, that's fine. It looks like it's fine. So the game does have a physics system, basically, which means that you can't just build like a massively high thing. You know, like you must abide by the laws of physics, basically. So we're gonna build here. I'm not gonna build over the edge because that will have issues of its own, because you, like I said, have to abide by the laws of physics. So building over the edge would be nice and would be cool and all of that kind of stuff, but you basically will screw yourself a little bit, because like you can't build very far over the edge, especially not with the wood. Like maybe later, you know, like when you get better better stuff, you know. Hey, there's a deer. Okay, it ran away. When you get better stuff, like you get cement, actually, you get cement, you get steel, I believe, structures. So cement and steel and all of those things obviously will be able to carry more weight. Okay, let's see if we can kill that one. Oh yeah, and the game has a system similar to Fallout 4 where you get a kill cam if you do like a headshot or stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Even though it doesn't really add to the gameplay, it's just cool. It's cool to see that animation. Wow, this is a really big one. So we skin it. And then you can actually take the carcass. Oh, no, you can't take the carcass. Once you've skinned it, you can't take the carcass, apparently. That's fine. Because you can take the carcass back to your base. To a thing called a... what was it? A slaughtering bench, basically. And at the slaughtering bench, you can... refine the carcass. You can get more out of the carcass, basically. And the game also has decaying, so like literally everything decays in the game. I don't like that system. Like I don't like games that have decay. Like I don't mind a game that has a hunger system. Wow, that one was in the eye. I don't mind a game that has a hunger system and a water system and that kind of stuff. But even tool degradation, like tool durability, even that is obviously part of a survival system. But when you get to the point of resources degrading, like that's where I draw the line of fun. Like I don't like... how do I drop this thing? I'm clicking, left clicking.